Alright, so today's video, we're going to show you how to make this light fixture using some reclaimed pallet wood and the old light fixture that used to be up here so I could get this shade out of it. The lights that were up here were awful. They looked like sticks and thorns coming off of it. It was hideous. So now this is simple and clean and modern, and it goes with the rest of our house. I'm going to show you how to make this right here. Stick around. Alright, this is what we're starting with. This is the runner off of a pallet that I found. I picked it up because it was totally unique. I'd never seen anything like it. You can see it's got this arch cut in the bottom of it. I've seen it where they have the tight little areas cut out so that forks can come into a pallet, but I've never seen one with just a swooping arch like this on the bottom. So this is not aged like a normal pallet is, but that's okay because we're going to be painting this whole thing and sanding it down, so we really don't have to have that same patina that you find on pallets that have been sitting out in the weather. The inspiration for this actually came from my wife. She thought, you know, we could take those half glass globes from the picture that you saw in the fixtures earlier and turn it into something that almost looked like a vessel sink. It's really clean and modern, which is the style that we're kind of going with in our house. And these are going to work out just fine. I'm going to show you how to chop these up, turn this into the block that's going to receive the half glass globe from the old light fixture so that it'll nest down in the bottom of it, and it'll look like the light fixture that you saw on the other. Alright, I don't want to split the wood, so I'm going with a countersink bit. This is a countersink bit. What it allows it to do is create a little pocket so that the screw will set into the wood, not be sitting on top of the wood, and it won't split either. A little pocket, just like that. Change out to our screw bit. There it is, just like that. Alright, we got our wood blocks put together. That's going to mount up against the wall. So since this is a square, and our shade that we're going to be using is rounded, we need to use a wood rasp, which looks like this. It just removes wood material when you run it across it like a big old metal piece of sandpaper. Anyway, we're going to carve the inside of this square out a little bit so that this light fixture, this glass, will sit down in it and kind of recess down a little bit. It'll nest. Nest is a good word. It'll nest inside this a lot better. It'll look more like a vessel sink, which was kind of our inspiration for the way this light fixture was going to look. Show you what that looks like. took the screws back out of all these blocks. I've disassembled it now that I've got it kind of shaped for the bowl to receive it. Now I need to cut this plate, this piece, to fit. I'm going to cut a channel into both of these side return pieces. I don't know if you see that or not. Anyway, then when I put it back together, I'll have this cut to length. This will slide into those channels and it'll give me this crossboard, which actually I'll be drilling a hole down through the back side of it, into which the threaded end on the guts, the working part of the light fixture, will screw down into that, and that will mount this piece to this piece, and you'll be about halfway on. Make sense? Alright, so it's cold as hell outside. I haven't been getting a lot of work done. I've been crazy busy at work. Yes, this is not my full-time job. I do have to work and pay bills and all that. So anyway, I want to show you what I've got done. These are of course from the pieces of pallet that I cut down. This is from the old light fixture that I'm recycling and scavenging parts off of to make the new light fixtures. The bulb goes in here, of course. You got your wires coming out to be able to wire it in. Put the blocks together, I cut a channel in the back, took this piece of wood, cut it, slid it in there to fit, and then drilled a hole slightly smaller than the threaded neck on the bottom of this so that I could screw it in. It's screwed in there, now it's attached. So then when I run the screws through the front of this to attach this to the actual mounting socket in the wall for the sconce, it holds the whole thing up. Then the globe will sit in here like that. I'll have to anchor it down. I'll show you how to do that later. But it sits kind of like a vessel, just like that. The next stage is going to be to put in the holes on that and then sand this down and paint it white. Of course, I'll remove the electrical component for that. I have to do that and let that sit up. It's not going to sit up in the cold, so I have to take it inside the house to do that. The big job is sanding the paint off of this. This is like a dusting of some kind of paint that they put on it from the factory. So now I'm going to put in these holes in the garage, but then I'll be taking them inside to let them sit up because it's just too cold out here for this. It's just way too cold. It won't sit up. That's basically it. I mean, this is really easy. Anybody can use this stuff. I'm not good at sheetrock. Like a little bit of sheetrock mud. Then I can use the palm sander on this, or I can even use a little piece of sandpaper with my hand. And then that's done. So these edges where it came through is just due to the imperfections in the way the saw blade is set up. I mean, it's just not a high-dollar saw. They're not super accurate. But once I sand that down and sand that off, you'll never see this stuff. And it'll look absolutely perfect. And that's that. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the way that I anchored this globe to the base that we built is by using a simple picture frame hanging kit. Now it's got these little things that you can, I don't know if you can see that in the bottom, but you see those little triangles that are cut out in the pieces of metal there, and then there's a screw in between those two triangles. Those two triangles have these little points that you're supposed to tap into the back of a frame, and then the circular part right there, that's where your nail would go to hang your picture frame. So I used these and I screwed them in place, and then I bent the metal circle so that it would actually come up around the glass and hold it in place so that this won't come forward. If that makes any sense at all. I'm not sure if it does, but you need some kind of an anchor or a cleat to hold that, because this cantilever's out pretty far and all the weight is in the front here. It's not near the base, so it hugs the wall nice and tight back here. And those two little metal cleats are what I use to hold it to the bottom.